Hello Super Sleuths, I'm Gumshu. Deck Detective is a series which every week I play and discuss a new deck. This week we're covering the end of Master Duel. Long have we hidden refuge from the onslaught power of the elements brought to the TCG, but the bells are tolling, the terrors are upon us. We're covering Spright. Spright are an archetype of level, rank, or link 2 thunder monsters related to the Albaz lore as rogue electric spirits that jump out of the Therion mainframe and cause havoc, eventually being tamed by Kit into a giant robot. They revolve around monsters with a level or equivalent of 2, and all special summon themselves from the hand if a 2 is on the field. They're extremely generic extra deck monsters that lend themselves to synergizing well with any other archetype that relies on level 2 monsters, which is why today we're playing them with Live Twin. Live Twin are an archetype of 2 Jewel Thieves who masquerade as VTubers that revolve around powerful level 2 normal summons and link 2 monsters, so they mix perfectly with the Sprite strategy to do some devilish things. Without further ado, let's see the deck list. Here's the list, and surprise, it's a Scythe Lock deck. Historically, Scythe Locking has been sort of mediocre in Master Duel, as decks like Eldritch or Runic have always been popular parts of the latter ecosystem, and usually decks that try to Scythe Lock sacrifice most other forms of interaction to do so. But this deck is powerful enough that it can put up other forms of disruption alongside Scythe Lock, and Sprite is so widespread that Scythe Locking will win you the game most of the time. Also, as a precursor to the replays, some of these were taken from my rank climbing games, in which I was still adjusting this deck list, so the lists will be slightly different than shown here. However, the main combo and gameplay does not change. So first, let's talk about the Live Twin cards. We're playing 1 Live Twin Kiss Kill and 3 Live Twin Lila. On summon, they special summon the other kind of monster from hand or deck. It might just seem weird that we're playing 3 Live Twin Lila and 1 Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill, but the monster that Lila summons from deck is way better than the special monster that Kiss-a-Kill can summon from deck. That monster being Kiss-a-Kill Frost. If you control a Lila monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then if a card is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand by a card effect, you control an Evil Twin monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard to draw a card. Really nice effect. Just free card draw. And then we're also playing 3 Live Twin Sunny Snitch and 1 Secret Password that searches Sunny Snitch. Sunny Switch on activation searches Live Twin Lila, well, either any Live Twin monster, but usually Lila, and then while you control an Evil Twin monster, each time your opponent normal special summons a monster, you gain 200 life points, and if you do, inflict 200 life points damage to your opponent. And then onto the Sprite monsters, 3 Sprite Blue, 3 Sprite Jet, 1 Red, and 1 Carrot. Blue, if you control the Darks, Blue and Jet, if you control a level or rank 2 monster, you can special summon them from your hand. And then the Fires, Red and Carrot, if you control a level or link 2 monster, you can special summon them from your hand. Blue on special summon searches a Sprite monster. Jet on special summon searches a Sprite spell trap. Red, if your opponent activates a monster effect, you contribute 1 other level, rank, or link 2 monster, negate that effect. And if you contributed a rank or link 2 monster to activate this effect, you can destroy that monster. And then Carrot has the same effect, but for spell traps. Just really good, really free, easy monsters. Insanely good bodies. Blue and Jet are just so much advantage on their own that it can overwhelm your opponent. Really hard for your opponent to stop. And for the Sprite spell traps, playing 2 Sprite starters semi-limited from the start of their release. Special summon 1 Sprite monster from your deck, but lose life points equal to its original attack. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except level, rank, or link 2 monsters. Activating this, special summoning Blue is a 1-card amazing combo, just being able to special Blue. Blue search Jet, Jet special search Gamma Burst or Smashers, and then you still have your normal summon if you want to do things with that. Sprite Gamma Burst, this is kind of a weird inclusion. Not all deck lists are playing this, but this deck has trouble OTKing, and this really helps that problem, so I have been loving this card in the list. All level, rank, link 2 monsters currently on the field gain 1400 attack defense until the end of this turn. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard that target 1 level, rank, or link 2 monster you control. It gains 1400 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. You can only use 1 of the effects per turn, only once per turn. Do note that this affects all level, rank, or link 2 monsters currently on the field, including your opponents. So, if your opponent is in the mirror and you are they still have a lot of monsters you need to get through, this card won't be as useful, but if you have an empty board and you search this, you can OTK easily. Sprite Smashers, banish 1 Spring Ins Therian or Sprite card from your hand or graveyard, then activate one of these effects. I'm only reading this one. Banish 1 level, rank, or link 2 monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls. So this is a searchable, non-targeting banish that the deck has access to. Really nice. Now for the staples, the 2 Gamma and the 1 Driver. Gamma is really good in this format because if your opponent doesn't their Sprite normal summon, like a Nimble Beaver, or a Swamp Frog, or a Deep Sea Diva, or a Live Twin, something like that, you can gamma it, negate it, and then remove the body, so that unless they have exactly Sprite starter, they can't really play the game from that point on. 3 Maxi, a 3 Ash Blossom, 2 Called by the Grave, and 1 Cross Out. This is just, I mean, it's the Master Duel Tactics, you have to play it, and this deck in particular, and really a lot of Sprite variants, get really hurt by Maxi. This honestly, this deck, this format can feel very much like a Maxi minigame, and if there's ever a format that shows that this card is a menace to the format, it's this one. I think Maxi really is unhealthy in this format. Then finally, we're playing 3 Droplet and 3 Dark Ruler no more. This is very necessary in Sprite mirrors. I've been seeing Sprite Frog and especially Live Twin Spright the most, and you need to stop the Scythe block for Live Twin Spright, and both Droplet and Dark Ruler no more do this. Dark Ruler has historically been an amazing card against Sprite, and it continues through this day. If you can Dark Ruler them and clear their board, it's kind of hard for them to continue playing the game. And then we're also playing the Artifact Scythe, which we set and summon as a pop as part of the combo. This card is special summon during your opponent's turn. Your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn. And then in the extra deck, let's start with the rank 2s. So we've got 2 Gigantic Spright, 2 level 2 monsters. For this card's Xyz summon, you can treat link 2 monsters you control as level 2 monsters for material. The original attack of this card that has a fusioning Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster as material becomes doubled. And then during your main phase, you can activate its effect, detach 1 material from a monster you control, and if you do, special summon 1 level 2 monster from your deck. Also, neither player can special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except level rank link 2 monsters. That is a hard one to return. Blocking both players is really frustrating for your opponent because they can't Nibiru you. And there's also some cards that this really forces out, like your opponent can't activate Exosister Vadis after you activate this card. They can't do their Exosister stuff. They can't do Brain of Despia stuff. They can't summon Chimera if you summon this. So this is a really good way to force opponents' interaction, especially that interaction involves summoning monsters. We've got an Onibi Maru Soul Sweeper. You can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 monster your opponent controls, banish it until your opponent's end phase. If this card in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can target banish monsters up to the number of materials this card had, shuffle them into the deck. So those are both the hard ones per turn. Number 65, Djinn Buster. This requires 2 level 2 dark monsters, which Blue, Jet, and Lila are. During either player's turn, when an effective opponent's monster is activated, you can detach 2 executive materials from this card, negate the activation, and if you do, burn your opponent for 500. So it's a 3 monster negate, rank 2, really nice. And then because we're playing an Xyz strategy, we have a Zeus for any of your needs. Now let's go into the Evil Twin monsters. We've got 2 Evil Twin Kiskakel and 2 Evil Twin Lila, and then at this card is special when you control a Lila monster, you can draw a card. If this card is special when you can draw a Kiskakel monster, you can target a card on the field, destroy it, and then both of them have during a main phase, if the other type of Evil Twin is not on the field, you can special summon that type of Live Twin or Evil Twin from your graveyard, but you are locked into Fiends from the extra deck for the turn. Keep that in mind. You do have important extra deck monsters that aren't Fiends, most notably Sprite Elf. So, can't go into Sprite Elf after you use these cards. Keep that in mind. And then the link for Evil Twin's Trouble Sunny. 2 monsters, including an Evil Twin monster. You can tribute this card, especially on up to 1 Kiskakel monster and up to 1 Lila monster from your graveyard, and then you can banish this card from your graveyard and send 1 Evil Twin monster from your hand, deck, or face-up field to the graveyard. We're not playing the Evil Twin Brick, but you can send a Evil Twin monster on field for this. And then you can non-target send a card on the field to the graveyard. That you rarely go into this turn 1, but in a simplified game state, if your opponent is still clinging on, you can summon this as a way to apply pressure, and also this helps with the OTK. You can summon this for 3300, and then after you're done, you can during the battle phase, you can tribute this to summon back the 2 Evil Twin monsters for another 2200 of damage, equaling 5500 damage in total. We also are playing Artifact Dagda. This is how we set Scythe from deck. When an effect of another card on the field is activated, you can set 1 artifact monster from your hand or deck to your spell trap zone as a spell, but destroy during your opponent's next end phase. And then during your opponent's turn, if this link summon card is destroyed, you can special summon 1 artifact monster from your graveyard in defense position. So very necessary for the combo. 1 Dark the Dark Charmer Gloomy. This is kind of like Sprite Elf, but if your opponent's playing Sprite, it can start your Sprite engine too. And also you can use it as like material for the turn it's summoned. And also if it's destroyed, you can search a Dark Monster with 1500 or less defense, which both Blue and Jet are, and also Lila. So basically, all the Dark Monsters in your deck meet this criteria. 2 Sprite Elf, 2 monsters, including a level, rank, or link 2 monster. Cannot be used as link material the turn it is link summoned. Your opponent cannot target monsters as card points 2 with card effects. During the main phase quick effect, you can target a level 2 monster in your graveyard, or if your opponent controls a monster, you target 1 rank or link 2 monster instead. Special summon it. This is one of the most crazy extra deck monsters ever printed. And the reasons why aren't really all that immediately obvious, but it's just an insane amount of value, and he's really generic too. You're going to see this card in honestly a lot of decks, and including you can even do a combo with basically any deck where you can make Dark or a certain Charmer summon back any of their monsters. They have to control a monster for this. This is kind of a going second tool. And then you can link them off for Elf. Elf effects summon back the Dark, and then you can overlay Elf and Dark into Zeus, or Gigantic Spright, and then Gigantic Spright Battle, and then go into Zeus. So this card is honestly playable in most decks, but is really good here. Do try to keep use of the targeting protection that this card offers. So really good. Nightmare Unicorn, just generic removal. Pretty easy to summon in this deck in a simplified game state, as since it's a fiend, the evil twins don't lock you out of this card. And that does it for the deck list. Now that we've done the list, let's play some games. We'll play 2 games, one in which I win that I commentate over, and one in which I lose that I commentate over. The game is afoot. It's time to duel. This game showcases the main combo you'll be going for, and just how effective it is. We go first, and we open exactly what we want. A Life Twin starter plus a Sprite starter. No, not that starter. You know what I mean. It's a good Sprite. We activate Sunny Snitch to search Lila, then normal summon Lila and activate its effect, trying to bait an interruption here. We don't have a Max C out, but thankfully they just have a Veiler. And unfortunately for them, we have the Frost in hand. We special the Frost, then special Jet. Jet effect to search Sprite starter. And since we already have everything we need, I decide to link directly into Dagda, but in most cases you should overlay into Gigantic to get a blue or red or carrot or other Life Twin name or whatever else you need. We activate Starter, then chain Dagda to set a artifact Scythe from deck. Then Starter effect to summon Blue. Blue effect, we go ahead and search Carrot, which I summon. And then I overlay Dagda and Blue into Gigantic. Then use Gigantic effect to summon Red from deck. After which I link Gigantic and Jet into Elf. Then I use Jet to summon back the Kiss-a-Kill Frost. Kiss-a-Kill Frost and Carrot into Evil Twin Kiss-a-Kill. Then Kiss-a-Kill effect to summon back the Lila, which we use with Kiss-a-Kill to summon the other Evil Twin. We use Evil Twin Lila's effect to summon Evil Twin Kiss-a-Kill. And then we use its effect to draw us an Ash Blossom. Very nice draw for us. And then after which we link the 2 Evil Twin monsters into another Kiss-a-Kill, so we can summon back the Lila on the opponent's turn to pop to Scythe. With that, we pass turn. Our opponent draws and they normal summon Lila. Yep, folks, it's the mirror. They activate its effect, and we immediately go into Scythe Block mode, chaining Kiss-a-Kill effect to summon from Graveyard our Lila, which they chain Ghost Spell to. Luckily, we have red on field, and we tribute Elf for its effect to negate Ghost Spell. I was fairly new to the deck at the time of playing this and feared that tributing Kiss-a-Kill would mean I don't get Lila's effect to pop Scythe, but in hindsight I should have tributed Kiss-a-Kill, because Elf could chain after to summon back the Kiss-a-Kill because they control a monster, and it ends this on the same board as we're about to, but we have Elf for follow-up. Nevertheless, everything resolves, and we pop Scythe, which hits the board and resolves, locking them out of the extra deck for the turn. They summon red, then they summon blue. Geez, they really did open all their sprites, and then use blue to search Jet. We use the Frost Engrave on resolution, banish it from graveyard to draw an Imperm. And then they summon Jet. Jet effect, searching Sprite Smashers. And then they move to battle and clear our twins before passing to us. But not before they set a card. For turn, we draw another Life Twin Lila, and with this Hyperion in hand, I decide to get another draw, hoping to link it in Scythe into Elf to begin the Sprite shenanigans. However, we draw into Blue off Hyperia, which is the peak of this card's performance in my deck before I cut it. We do Sprite Blue, which they chain Red negate, which we chain Red negate, making the chain resolve, so I search Jet. Red negates Red. Blue searches Jet. And then we summon Jet. Jet effect, we go ahead and search Smashers, which I do use, forcing their Sprite Smashers. That's right, we've got ourselves a Smasher standoff here, and for that standoff, we decide to banish each other's Sprite Reds. Uh, I then link our remaining two monsters into Sprite Elf, and at this point they know they're cooked. The prospect of getting back into our Evil Twin cards imminent, and so they concede. So we saw a glimpse of this deck's incredible power, but this deck is not without its weaknesses. We're going second, and our opponent opens with Extravagance Banish 6. Oh joy. They normal summon Ariana to search Shang Regulier, then activate Shang Regulier, pitching itself and Driver to set the Labyrinth field spell from deck to field. They then activate the field spell, set 2 cards, and pass. We draw for turn Sprite Jet, which is an amazing draw, and we start with normal summon Lila. Lila effect to summon Kiss Kill from deck. On summon, they activate Punishment targeting Lila, and if they let this go through, they can dump Intis to remove both bodies from the field. So I chain Droplet, removing the target so they can't dump Intis. That resolves, negating Ariana, but they then activate the field spell, summoning Lovely from hand. Then use their set Ice Dragon's Prison to summon the Lila and Grave to banish both it and the Kiss-a-Kill. They do a bunch of Labyrinth effects, including the negated Ariana, and I Ghost Spell the Shang Regulier in Graveyard to keep it from coming back and setting Welcome. Everything resolves with Shang Regulier getting negated, Lovely destroying the Kiss-a-Kill Frost in hand, and then Ariana getting negated like a bozo. This shows a weakness of the deck. If they remove your level 2 bodies, you can't do much. We activate Sunny Snitch to search Lila, then pass turn. The opponent has a simple turn, drawing and using Lovely to reset the punishment from Grave. They summon Backjack, then they swing for damage, before passing to us. For turn, we draw Iperia, and desperate to draw something good, we normal summon the Iperia over the Lila, and we also don't have any more targets for Lila in deck. And we draw blue, which is pretty good, but they go ahead and punishment pop the Iperia, and I go ahead and concede since they can reset the punishment and pop my bodies forever, and I go ahead and just decide to end the suffering now. So we're back, and sheesh! This deck is insane. It's a devilish blend of game-winning combo lines, room for flex spots and staples, and the ability to go into a grind game that non-Sprite decks can't keep up with. We've done our investigation, now let's get into the closing argument. Verdicts are the same as usual. Going by predicted expected ranking, Law-Abiding Nursing Home Resident is below Platinum, Harmless Delinquent is Platinum, Lone Wolf is low Diamond, while Public Enemy number 1 is Diamond 1. Now up for judgment, Live Twin Spright. The deck has many strengths. The combo wins you the game on the spot against many decks, including most Sprite variants. This deck is the best Scythe-locking has ever been, and might be the one that finally gets the card banned. 2. The Sprite cards are so free. Special Summon Blue is effortless, and makes you go so plus in a way that your opponent can only sit and stare at. And finally, the engines are small enough that you can shove double-digit numbers of staples into the deck. Going second is easy peasy lemon for breezy after you hit your combo playing friend with a Dark Ruler and have Ash in hand for their Max C. Now for the deck's weaknesses. Max C cooks this deck if you don't have an out, even more so than other variants like Runic Spright. This format really does feel like one big Max C minigame sometimes, and if any format shows why the card should be banned, it's this one. 2. This variant in particular has a harder time going second than the others. If you're playing a Brick and Artifact Scythe, it's a lot easier to disrupt your normal summon, and your extra deck tools tend to be a little worse than the other variants. And finally, Sprite variants have a hard time OTKing without their spell Gamma Burst, and since that card affects all 2 monsters on the field, there are situations where the card won't help you. In conclusion, Spright is the most powerful deck we've ever seen in Master Duel, and Live Twin is a fantastic engine to play it with in a ladder environment. That's why this deck gets a Public Enemy number 1 verdict. Thank you for watching. If you would like more guidance on how to make this deck work from people who have played the deck more than me, I highly recommend the Spright Discord server in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetype repository, or the Spright channel in the Master Duel Meta Discord server. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing to me. Also comment below what you liked, what you think needs improvement, or tell me my list was garbage. Also, check me out on Twitter, where I follow other VTubers and Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, as well as post updates and my thoughts, and Twitch, where I stream Master Duel rank climbs, other Master Duel Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content, and other games. Also, if you would like to discuss my content or Yu-Gi-Oh! In general with other like-minded people, consider joining my Discord, linked in the description. Thank you, and have a good day.